Hi, I'm Alan R. Welcome to Motor Matters, your channel that you know you're going to get the latest, the greatest, and the best on motoring in South Africa. But before we talk about the car that we've got on test today, let's talk changecars.co.za. That's the site, the website that you know you can shop for your next car online with total peace of mind, because they only list cars from franchised dealers. And that's their USP and why they are so different to everyone else. And while you're on Change Cars, and once you've found the car you want, click on the little button for Discovery Insure, and you can even arrange your insurance as well. That's changecars.co.za. The shape is pretty familiar. The grills look familiar, but there's something different. Can you see? Because they're not really kidney grills like you expect from BMW. And that there is what tells you what's so different. That eye over there. Because this is not just an X3. This is the iX3 from BMW. The full electric version of the X3. So we're not going to spend too much time showing you too much on this car, because you've seen the X3 so many times before with Motor Matters, whether it's the 2-litre diesel or the M240 or even the X3M, whichever one, you've seen them all on Motor Matters before. But let's just have a look at the side profile over here, and you'll see the 20-inch wheels with they're actually special alloy wheels as well, to give you better aerodynamics, better performance to go with the electric side of the car. It's little touches like that that BMW have added to the iX3. Because what I find interesting about this car is the fact that without the little cues and signs, you can't tell that this is not just a normal X3, and that there isn't something pretty special about it. Let's just hop around here and have a look. Of course, that's one of the other places you can tell this is not just a normal X3, can't you? Because look there. That's where you juice her up. But you juice her up through Eskom, not through BP or Shell or any of those guys. That's the kind of differences. Now let's have a look at the rear end over here. And of course you've got the powered tailgate, which you expect, of course, and you've got the very good sized boot over here, which you expect on an X3. But the one difference you have, of course, is that besides the spot for the cables over here, you don't even have a mobility kit really for the run flat tires. Basically, that's where your batteries are under there, and that's the sacrifice you're making on space with the electric version, is the fact that you lose any possibility of spare wheels or anything like that, because they've got to allow, obviously, for battery packs. You can drop the seats, you can see in 3 sections, the back seats, but this is all standard X3, and quite honestly, you know it all, you've seen it all, and I don't need to show it to you again. And the other thing is, note the fact, obviously, the lack of exhaust pipes. You've got the diffuser effect and everything else, but no exhausts. Well, you don't need them with electric power, do you? Let's check it out on the road, let's check it out inside, and you'll see, because this test is all about what's life like with electric cars. Okay, so we're really going to address the range anxiety issues with this car and how it works. I read up on the internet that there's the WPLT maximum range on this car is 460 kilometers, yet it's just been on charge and it's telling me I've got a maximum range of 330. I'm now going to take it on my favorite route to Hearties, which is through the twisty, so I can check the handling and the performance, and it's about 130 kilometers, the whole road. So let's see what range. Heading on the road now out of Hearties, and we're going to hit that very steep uphill, that's always a very good test of any car. And of course, it's the acceleration on an electric car that really makes the difference. You can see I'm doing, what, just 99, 100 kilometers an hour right now. And if I put my foot down, watch this. Whoa, okay, here we go. How's that for acceleration? I think you got the message. Maybe the camera was a bit shaky and I apologize for that. But you get the idea. It is unbelievable. The response, the reaction of this electric motor is unreal. Let's just try that again. I'm going to actually put the camera now and I'll just put my foot down slightly and here we go. And you can just, and remembering this is on a steep uphill and it just takes off. It really does. Unbelievable. Smooth at the same time, of course, and the silence. Just the silence. Road rumble is all you get. And the journey's done. I've done about 125 kilometers. The range has dropped by 91. So if we left with 330 showing, it means an effective range of 360 to 370 that I can say I could safely do with this car. Well, there you go. That's what my testing and my proof. Jumping on board, again, I have to keep repeating myself, but this is just so standard X3. There's really so little different to tell you about this car. So it's an interesting exercise. Now, one of the big things I've got to discuss, and you'll hear it on the road as well, is I went onto the BMW website and they say that there's a maximum range of up to 460 kilometers for this car on a charge. Well, I charged it up completely at the BMW dealership and it said 325, 330. I got it to run more economically, as you saw, and well, I'm saying real world comfortable 360 maybe. I don't know if I'd go any further than that, but that's not bad either, is it? I don't think that's bad at all. One of the features I have to mention to you is, obviously I don't have a wall box at home, so charging I found the easiest was my local BMW dealership, and thank you to them. They were most obliging and let me charge over there, and it worked nice and easily. So what's different on this car? Well, virtually nothing, besides obviously when you scroll through the menus, etc., you'll see a few things for electric and things like that, and but it drives like a normal X3 with obviously the brilliant acceleration you expect from electric, and I can tell you the response is amazing. What I haven't told you yet is that this electric engine puts out 210 kilowatts and 400 newton meters of torque to all four wheels. So just keeping that in mind, I think that is an important fact to keep in mind as well. So it's certainly got enough oomph for most circumstances, for most usages, and for most conditions. And that's really important. Other than that, well, you know the screen, it's got everything you could possibly ever want on the screen. What I did really like on this vehicle in particular was the wireless Android Auto that I've been using constantly, and it worked really well with Spotify as well. So you've got all of that on the screen. Again, these are things I don't even need to tell you about because you know about them and you've seen them so many times on all the test cars I've got. This particular car's got a nice big panoramic roof. You can see that as well. It's little things like that that I think make a very big difference. Something else I've got to tell you that I noted on this particular car, and I don't know if it's unique to iX3 or if it's something, but you have got the multi-mode transmission even on the electric with your buttons for Sport, Comfort and Eco Pro. I put it into Sport early on in this test, and this is one of the few cars I've ever come across that didn't default back to Comfort every time you switched off and when you started the car again. And it's actually just stayed in Sport mode ever since. And I must say that does give you extra response. I have enjoyed that. Maybe I could have got a tiny bit more range if I'd left it in Comfort or Eco Pro. I don't know. Maybe that's where the forecast of up to 460 comes in. I could have maybe eked out a little bit more. But I was enjoying the performance and the power and the comfort, so I didn't particularly worry about it in that sense either. It's got everything else you'd expect from an X3. It's got all the comfort. This one's got the upgraded Harman Kardon sound system that really sounds good, and I've been enjoying the music. All you can possibly want. If you've got a wall box at home, and even better if you're off the grid in one way or another, I can see no issues with electric motoring. For myself, well, it meant I had to go to the dealership every 2 to 3 days, so 2 visits to the dealership during my test period. Those are things you're going to learn to live with and shouldn't affect you if you own the car, as opposed to me just having it on test. But that's the difference. What I haven't told you is, price-wise, well, an iX3 starts at 1.3 million rand. I can't give an exact number on this one because you know what BMW are like. Depends which boxes you've ticked on your extras, like panoramic roofs and other things like that. But that gives you a ballpark and a guide, and it's totally in the ballpark for electric mobility for a vehicle this size. So it certainly fits that bill as well. Well, BMW have expanded their electric range. You've obviously got competitors in very similar categories from Mercedes as well. We know that. But as full electric motoring catches on in South Africa, well, there isn't a massive premium from the normal X3 to this one as there are in some cases with electric. And it's interesting that both BMW and Mercedes have managed to do electric without the massive premiums. You're ready to go electric? I suggest you test drive this one and see for yourself. It's as simple as that. For Motor Matters, I'm Alan R. I'll see you next time.